one common data set, or let's make a data set here, right? So let it be marks. Okay, I'm going to create a dictionary particularly, or let's say going to make a list. So name of the student. Okay, let's take it as let's take the name as A, B, C, and D. These are the four students, A, B, C, and D. Now, mm, how many more to come? Okay. Is there something we messed up? Yeah. Okay. Now let's take up the marks. Let's say we are searching for physics. So in the physics, let's say they have performed as any particular marks 65, 87, 69. Okay, cool. So like this. Similarly for chemistry, 89, 68, 87, 97, and like this. Okay, fine. And let's say for mathematics, so it's 96, 80, 98, 69, and so on. Okay, so like these are the four lists I have created. Now I'm going to, let's say, creating a dictionary with this list. Okay, so let's say this is going to be my marks, and this is going to be a dictionary where this is going to be the name, and the value is going to be the name. This is going to be physics, and this is going to be physics. Sorry, chemistry, so PKHE. Mathematics should be MNT. Cool. It's easy. Nice. So this is the following dictionary. Now if you can see, like not going to print up the things. And I'll have to import up the dependencies. So it's going to be my DF, and will be a data frame, right? Where the data is going to be marks. Data is equals to marks, and this is, we are going to get the data frame. So let's quickly see this. So we have name of the students as A, B, C, and D, and so does the marks in the physics, chemistry, and mathematics. That's easy, right? So now our goal is to, what's our focus is to add a particular column in your data. Okay, let's bring this down. Now you have to add a particular column here. So let's say like if we want to add a new column, first let's look to a new row, right? First going with the row and then we'll go with the columns and all. So to add a particular row, what should be done, right? So new row will be coming up there in your data, right? A new row would be made over there. So how to write? So let's say this is my new row, and this is again going to be a dictionary, obviously, right? So in the name, let's write D. D is there, E. Okay. Next, in the physics, write the marks and all, right? That is same. Okay. So this is going to be a new row. So you have added up the respective values to the respective columns in the new row, right? Now what is your work to add this row in your data frame, right? So to add this, you are going to use a method called as append. That's easy, right? We did in the list. So append the row to the data frame. That's the thing. Otherwise, you can also join, concatenate. There are several ways, but this can be the best one, I think, right? So what to be done in the df of marks? We'll say that the df of marks. How do we write other things in the list also, right? The list name dot append and all. So append, and what to be appended? This new row. New row is to be appended. Okay, right? And the index value, we'll have to write that ignore index. To be true, right? So we did not to be focused on the index right for now. Okay, just only want to add up the things. So let's see df of marks. You can see of the things. So what if you write it here as false? Can only append a series if ignore index is equals to true, or if the series have a same name, right? So that's why we write it as true. And now it will be for 2 times, obviously. Okay, so you have seen the thing. Okay, so when you write for false, so if you don't give the parameter, I say, right? So if you don't give the parameter ignore index equals to false, you'll get a type error as you have seen in there, right? Okay, so that's why we write this as a true one. Okay, so what happens there, it actually appends your data, and then you see exactly your output you want as it to be, right? Now we'll look on that how to add a column. Okay, so here let's say for another subject, what should be there? Let's say computer science. Okay, so you want to add a computer science subject to this, and that's easy, right? So you're going to add this new column, right? So you can write new column and then you can add it. So new column would be, or let's say that what to say, in the new column you are adding some values, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 are there. Okay, okay, 6 are there. So 98, 79, 69, 90, and 67, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, So this has been done, right? Now what you have to do is, to add this, you'll have to write the data frame name, that is df of marks, and here you will have to write that you want to add something, right? So in the data frame of marks, you have to define what is going to be a column name first of all. So let's say you say it to be computer science, and you define the values as new column, right? That is the values in the computer science. Okay, we'll run this and see our df marks, and you can see a new column over there that is computer science, and it's working like that, right? Okay, so it's easy, right? That you want to add a new row, you could write append and you could add up, and to write to just take a new column, you can go with this again. Mhm. Okay, cool. So you have been working with the various versions also in the NumPy, in the SimPy, and whatever we have did, right? So how to check your version of any package you are using? Yes, answer quickly. How to check the version of any package you are using? Hmm? Answer. Anyone remember? Okay, fine. See, what you do is you just write the package name and then two underscores, and then version and then two underscores, and that's all. Okay, it's easy. Now you have added a particular column, right? So now let's say that you want to delete this, right? You don't want this like to be there in your data set. So what we can do is we can write that in the df of marks. So before this, you will have to write. So delete df of marks of this particular computer science. And that would be done. See, if I look onto my columns now, there is only 4 columns. Got it? Easy, right? Okay. Next. So columns adding, row addings, deletions has been completed now, right? Now to see the index location of your data, we did it yesterday. Sorry, in the last class we did it, index locations and all. Okay, right? Now, so now looking on to the next thing in the index locations too, right? Looking on to the next feature, that is IAT, right? There is one such uh, function called as IAT. Okay, now what is it working? Let's see. Documentations. Okay. right pivot. So we'll be looking at with the IL. So what it does, it assigns a single value for any row, or let's say for any column, by an integer position. Right? That's why we say it as integer. Right? There is something called at, and again there is I at. Like we have the lock and I lock. Right? Similar to this, we have at and I at. Right? So I1 belongs to the integer. Right? So it raises an index error when integer position is out of the bound. Let's say you are having some 5 rows and you are mentioning to find out the 7th row or the 6th row. That will be giving you an error, right? So we use some two methods there, that is in the pandas. One is that, and the other is IAT. Okay, right. So first, looking at to the at working will be quite good, right? So what that does, it access a single value for a row or a column label pair, right? Similar to very lock, why how we use the lock, similar to both, right? So let's talk for any, let's say for DF of marks. So let's create a data frame quickly. DF of at. So DF of at looks like ABC 023, 041, 10, 20, 30, and so does the index values are there. Okay. Someone was there. Alright. Now to get a specified row or a column pair. A pair you mean, right? That is one row and one column value will be writing up. Like we write in the locate, if you remember, locate. And how do you say that? Like 4th row. Oh, sorry. So locating VF of 4, what gives? It gives all the column values A, B, and C. So I locate it like this. Get 0 to 3, right? If you see the previous values. So if we mention the particular rows and the particular columns, we get it accordingly, right? The rows and the columns. Similar to this, right? It works according to the key value pair. If we write to get us specified row and value, so we'll write it as df at. Okay, so its name is df at, but let's say I change this. So df.at, right? And then you write whatever you want, like a particular row and a particular column I am talking about. Okay, so let's say the 4th one and the B column. Invalid scalar indexings might be for the bracket. So what you can see at the 4th, like the 4th row, right? The indexings I'm talking about. the fourth one, and on the second column we are getting the value of 2, right? Like this. Now to it is to get a specified row. Now you want to set something. Like you want to add a value or want to replace anything, in that case, right? You can use the add specifically to set up the data. So like if you say the very same process, what we have to do, like in the for, in the b, like you want to set anything like b placed or whatever, let's say 12, and then look on to this. See, in the b it is 12. Okay, that's it, how we find out the things. And more specifically, you can also write like df dot locate, right? So let's say the 4 and dot at, and then you write b, so it would also work. Or if you write df dot ilocate the 0 dot at dot b, it would also work. Or dot I at. I think you might get it now how this works. See, what I'm doing is, what is b? If we see according to the index values of the columns, what is b coming there? In the 1, right? That is the second column. So is it obviously 1, right? So we can write it as like 1 or something according to that. So if we use IAT even, so it would be like IAT, df of IAT, and then you write like the 4 you want the second one, or the first one in the fourth. So fourth will not work because fourth index is out of bound. Fourth one was the row that was working well in the lock, right? But here for the index one, you will have to write the index number. So that is the first one. So that is obviously 0, and then you will be getting up your answers. Okay, that is how this works, right? So if you remember the previous things like the marks and all, you can easily find out the things like whatever got how much marks in one particular state, right? And like for the C, how much C has got in the computer science. Like to search on for the things, right? How much C has got in the computer science. And what you can use this quickly, you can use this method too, bt dot like df dot marks of locate the C with the computer science and respectively the things. Otherwise, you can easily use this at or I at, whatever you want. So df of like marks dot at, let's say. So we want for C, right? That's not exactly the row name, right? If we look onto the things, that is 4, 5, and 6. So here, what is it there? 3, 2. Okay. So in the 2, we want to see 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means. So in the C, you want to see or in the computer science, let's say. Let's say, okay. Computer science here. Okay, I have deleted that. Physics. See, you'll be getting up the values accordingly. So if you want like whose marks you are looking for, you can use df marks dot I locate the second one, the one. I think it's -0. So it is the marks of C in the physics. It has got 87. Or to see the overall values of this total one, you can just simply use df of marks, and then can easily write one, locate the name of the row, that is 2, and you'll be getting the name C, physics 87, chemistry 87, mathematics 98, name is 2, and so does the things. Okay, it's quite easy, right? Simply you can even rename or resize, or a lot of things are there. We'll be going one by one. Okay, right. Any doubts to anyone till now? I believe no doubts should be there. Okay, that's nice. Now we will look on some of the like statistical datas and their types to discuss, right? So now I'm going to give you some information regarding the some of the attributes what we haven't discussed, like the excess. What is excess? So this shows a list of row labels and the column names, right? If you write df dot marks excess, so list of row labels and the column names. You both will be like printed at a time. Okay, these are the common operations. Df dot, I think we have df shape, 3 rows 3 columns. Look onto your df, 3 rows and 3 columns, right? The values are clear to you, the data types and the things are clear to you, right? Again, just making a remember of all the things what we have discussed till now, like the head and the tail of the first, like if you write head and tail of any such things, you'll be getting accordingly the data's. Describe is going to give you, or describe is going to generate some descriptive statistics, like for only for the numerical columns. Okay, then we saw the maximum and the minimum, like whatever you do for the max and the min for any of the column or any of the row. When you write the max and the min for them, you'll be getting up the things accordingly, right? Means like let's say if this is df and you want to see a maximum value, so there we have parameters, something like, okay, and you want to see the maximum value, let's say. So from here we can easily, we'll be going on looking at to one data set, that is IPL data set. We'll be looking onto that to find out the things. So that's very easy, exactly like whatever the data frame you are having, you want to see a maximum of that. So let's say you want to see the maximum value of b, so what are you going to write? D of b dot max, that is 20. Okay, similar to this, right? You can write 20 or whatever maximum, the minimums and all. So as I said, there are levels, there are parameters a lot. Okay, right. So similar to this, df dot areas. So you can easily find out up here. Here you can easily find the medians, the modes. Modes can be written with the statistics, right? So df of like a dot median and df of like a see values, right? So according to that, you get such things. Okay. Then we also have standard deviation. right? So standard deviation, I think, would be known to you all, right? Mathematics parts and all. Okay. Right. So one more is there, like it is called as sample, right? So sample returns you the random sample of a data frame, right? If you write like df dot sample of 1, so any sample value would be just generated to you. There is no such like thing that it should be only repeating up this one, right? It's a random thing. It will return you just a random value exactly, a kind of thing. If you remember this data frame where this is, I think we saved it even. Bat average underscore T20 dot CSV. If you remember other things like that. So like for any data frame, right? So df of marks, even if you take so sample of 2, to be getting any sample value, like we are getting see 1 and 0. Run this again. Any random values will be there. Okay. Like just to see that what your sample, what your data is consisting of. Okay. Then drop any, I think it's clear to you, right? You drop some null values over there and do the things. Okay, nice. So now we are going to deal with the real-time data sets. Whatever we are having, we are going to start up with that. Okay, so let's see our datas. Okay, that's enough, I think. Is there data? No. All right, let's upload this. So you see, these are the steps like how to load a dataset. Okay, this will be also available in your drive so that you could work up with that. Alright. Now, how to load a dataset, guys? Right? Whenever we want to load any dataset to work up with a dataset, how to go to those things. We have 2-3 methods, right? You can come with the C1, you can come with the pandas. So here you have various methods to load any dataset. Like you can load from Excel, you can load from JSON, you can load from text, you can load from CSV, you can load from HTML, you can load from various things of this type. So let's say we are loading which data frame to be taken first. Where is that Netflix dataset? I actually want to find that Netflix one, but where are I? It is there. So it's better, like always, you take a CSV one that would like occupy a very less spaces. Okay. So Netflix, among all these things, if you see the sizes, only Netflix dataset is having a large one. Rest or the salaries are having a quite large thing. Okay, right. So let's load the Netflix dataset. Let's see what are they, how we can see up the things, and how we can explore a dataset. First of all, we'll try to find out the things. Okay. So let's bring that dataset. It's easy. You write pd.load. Sorry, read. pd.read. Whatever the file is, if it is Excel, you write Excel. CSV, you write CSV, and then write the name. So this is Netflix.csv. That's it. Okay, and that's done. So getting the first two, right, any sample two data. So we are getting some show ID, some types, some title, the director, the cast, country, date added, release year, ratings, durations, listed in, and description. It's nice, right? So that is like in the Netflix, whatever with the shows we see till there, right? The title and the cast and the things, the date added, and as such, the durations, and all the things are there, right? So what type is this of, if this is a type of a children, should children see this? So listed in children and family would be giving you a kind of child show and with that respect, right? So let's just quickly see up first of the things, the columns. Show ID, type, title, director, cast, country, date added, release year, ratings, durations listed in and respective. Okay, fine. So what are the index, or what are the shape first of all? Elements there. 6,234 rows and 12 columns. That's nice. How many nan values are there? Whoa. So in director we are having above 1,000. It's approximately to 19 or like 2,000 you can say, right? So 1969 null values in the director, cast with 570, country with 476, and date added with 11, and dating with durations and all. So if we see a graph of this heat map with the df of Netflix dot is null, and let's look this. Whoa, wait, that. This color is not good, right? Exactly. So a lot of spaces, vacant spaces here, right? That's nice. Okay, moving up next. what is being left? What more you can do? See, these are called as data analysis part, right? So we have seen the columns, we have seen the shape that is having 6234 and 12 and all. So let's look on to the data types these are having. Show ID have integer, cast as object, release via integer, and everything rest are the objects. Major part is having objects. So only 2 out of that is 10 objects and 2 integers. Cool. Nice. Okay. It is fine. Now, okay. So we are going to see like I think we have seen the group. Now we are going to see the group by method. Okay. So what group by does? It group the keys according to the value you write up. Okay, and then sort the data as to be the given. Okay. I'm going to say that. Let's just write, and you'll see the. Yeah, that is okay. One is group by, and you can even say apply. Like apply could also work like one such thing. Apply works. Yeah, it works. Let's yeah, okay. Fine. So group by and apply method. So first let's look on the apply one. So what it does, right? The values you write up here, or you write one value to apply on all the function of one particular axis of the data frame. Right? Let's say that if you're taking one DF, you have the DF. Let's say making it as a quick data frame. Right? So taking 4 and 9 and taking it to be 3, right? That is going to be 2 by 3. Okay, and let's say your columns is CDF, that is 444999. Now, what is the apply method? That is a kind of the function you pass on to the whole data frame to find the value of the whole data frame. So, like let's say we are going to find the square root of this. So we'll write df dot apply, and inside that we'll write the function name. That is, now we are going to find the square root. So we are going to find the square root of the whole data frame would be giving us like 2222333. Obviously 4 square root of this and this, right? Similarly, we write that apply, and like if you want to find a sum on the x is 0, right? You know what x is 0 is exactly. So what I get 12 and 27. Why? Right? How you getting up? X is 0. 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 9, 9, 9, 9. Not 2, 2, 2. This here. Like 4, 4, 4 and 9, 9, 9. 4 into 3 and 9 into 3. 27 and 12. Right? On the 0 it goes with the columns. Remember. The default value is always is there with the 0. and with the respective of the rows, it will be 13, 13 and 13 now, right? Because 9 plus 4, 9 plus 4 and 9 plus 4 will giving you the values of the 13 and all, right? Exactly like that. You can find such things, right? That is the working of an apply. Now coming up to the group by. Now how group by works, let's see an example. So we have the Netflix dataset. Remember, we have the Netflix dataset here. So the first index value is the show ID. Got it? First thing is the show ID. But what if we don't want things to be started up with the show ID? What if we want according to us? Right? So we use group by. What it does, it groups the data frame with a mapper. Okay, that is a series or a column, whatever you say, right? And that mapper will be taken as your index value. Okay, let's say how. See. So if we look on to the release year, that is being the integer one, okay? So df of Netflix dot, what is that? Release underscore year. So there we have data from 2019, 16, 50 and something in an unsorted way even also you can say, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to group by things accordingly. Okay, we'll write df dot group by. And is they done the group by? Release here? No. No. Sort values by. This should work. Netflix. Data friends now okay. Sort values. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. So like it's starting from 1925 now and it will go in some assorting manner. So like if you want something from the beginning, like in the end one, so you'll have to write the ascending to be false, and you can see like from 2020 it is there. Okay, now how group by works, see actually group by works in a good method, but why it is not working, like if you see on to the df, let's do some changes, wait a minute. this is 1 and this is 0 now. To be the values, and that's okay, fine. Now we can apply the group by. I think now we can just apply the things. Let's see. Why it is not working? It's having objects exactly. Is this so? Netflix is also with the same. Now let's see. Six. Just giving. Yes. Okay. Fine. So it's working right now. Okay, fine. It was not working after the previous ones. think the df one, it would also work if I see the df of net dot df dot net as group by as like, if I see the sum, release year and the show IDs, and yeah, okay, fine. So what group by does, guys, see, it creates a data frame, as I say, using a mapper function, alright, and then this operation involves some, see, you can see the splitting of the data sets could be done, right? Applying one function, combining the results, you say. So if I'm writing like the df of 6 is equals to the data set group by 6s, right? So you can see the index has been changed from the place to the 6s, and in whatever there is an integer value or a float value, we are getting the mean of that, right? So there are some limited functions for the group by, like the mean, the max, the only with the statistical data sets you can do statistical. So with the data set having a complete statistics value could be done with a group by very nicely, exactly. Okay, like if you look onto the marks, if you remember the marks and all, if I give you the df, I think it would be df of marks. That was having a complete, yeah, that was having a complete one. So, no, okay, name is not a good matter. The physics, chemistry, and mathematics, we are having up the things over there, right? So, let's say only if we have for the physics and the chemistry, hmm, we only look on to the physics and the chemistry, right? So, looking up to the sum of the physics, if we say, so we'll write it at df dot group by, let's say for physics, and to find up the sum, or like to find the maximum values. Physics, okay. See, so it is like 65, 68, 60. You can see like it is in some unordered way, but here you are getting everything in an ordered way, right? So 65, 68, 69, 87, and 89. And what more you can see that if there is any duplications of any name, would be taken for once, right? If there is duplication for the names and the like values, it will be taken for the ones. So A, B, C, D, E is there, and we are getting the results accordingly 65, 68, and you can find up the things. We write up there like ascendings, and like if you want like parameters to be given up, group keys or sort the values, index, levels, and whatever you write according to this, right? So it could be done. Why by B it was not taking up? I'm not understanding. With phi I was giving it there. Is it so with the max and all? Where is it? Group by 1. Yeah, fine. Okay. So you can even write it like this method, that why you want physics, or by chemistry, by name. If you write by name, should be taking in some alphabetical orders, like for A, B, C, and D, and things should be there in such things. Okay, that's how group by works. And sort values, you have seen, right? That how sort values is working. It sorts up the data and gives you the results accordingly to CF, right? So we saw in the Netflix, like it is. So what's the range of the values in the Netflix data set? What are the exact years data we are having? So if we write that Netflix dot, uh, if you see onto the value counts, we'll get what is there Data frame is not having value counts. Why? How is it? I have written something else, I think. VALUE value. And then that counts. Okay, DF underscore of Netflix. And value counts, that's it. It should work. VALUE underscore counts. Why? Is this something group by? It's okay. Okay. So like we have got some data right there. We have from 2018. Is it like from 1925 it has been started and goes till 2018? Okay. So from 1925, but exactly there might be something like we can just say that it should be 2018 minus 1925, and so that's 93 years and data like that, right? So what we have to do is we have to find the np dot unique, or we have to write that in the df dot release year, what are the unique years. So these are the unique years starting from 1963 going till the 2019. I think there was something of the 2020 also. Somewhere I saw it. This year is also 2020. Where is that? 2020, 2020. Why? Also we haven't seen here. Is that 2020 in what is that? 3, 4, 6, 7 release year. Small mistakes. Why it's not coming then? 2020. Okay. So these are the values 2019, 19, 17, 14, 19. How much? Okay. I can't even see 2020. Cool. Yeah, 2020. Okay. So it's there, but why is it not presenting there? Release year of unique 19, 16, 2013, 17. Okay, there is 20. Oh god. Fine, fine. So it is there. So we are having years from like 1963 to 2020, I think, right? So that's fine. So we want to make it in ascending order, exactly, just to see up the things. So print, where is it at? Not printing now. So np dot unique of np dot sorting of this year. So from 1925 it goes till there and till 2020. So what are the length? 72 years value exactly. Right? These are the years. So we are having a data from the past 72 years. From 1925. It's nice. Okay, fine. So it's kind of an analysis we have seen like first. So today we have seen till what year we are having dataset. Tomorrow we are going to explore it more. Okay, so I'll upload the data sets on the drive so that you could also go for the analysis things and all. All right, so I think clear, group by, apply the sort values and value counts and all these things, right? Any confusions to anyone?